Hey everybody, Mike Fifer, Fifer Hobby Supply. This video is, well, I said it on the last video as well, but this video here is not going to contain much because we've been occupied with household stuff, and as many of you may know, and I know there's a lot of you around the country, they're dealing with flooding and, well, all kinds of weather. But down here, El Paso has had something like 28 days of over 100 degrees. We probably had as many of those as they have. I don't know how many we've had, but it's just been hot. So it's very hard to get outside and do anything, even though there's things outside to do. In the heat, we've had a couple leaks in our irrigation system, and Robin and I have had to get up real early in the morning before the sun comes up and get out there and start working on that stuff, because by 9 o'clock it's been anywhere between 80 at the lowest possibly, but 80 to 90 degrees even by 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we've gotten out there, tried to do stuff, and it's pretty exhausting to work in that kind of heat, especially for old guys. But anyway, we've had some of that to do. We've had we've had just a lot of household things. You guys know what it's like. Life is life. But in the beginning here, I'm going to show you something that we just recently did, and we'll get to that here in a second. Okay, everybody, I haven't got much done on the layout, as I said, because we've had other things, irons in the fire. One of the things I'm going to show you is this is Old Blue, and she's been very good to us, but let me show you something. This is New Blue. I just wanted to come out here and get the pictures. I'm going to go ahead and explain this to you when I get in the garage. Okay, now you've been introduced to Old Blue and New Blue. It was just kind of a spur of the moment thing on my part, and kind of sprung it on Robin, but we could hardly, when I showed the truck to her, we could hardly not afford to buy it. I mean, they had a good deal on it. It just was too good of a deal to pass up. The truck only has 15,000 miles on it. It's a 21. Runs like a champ. There's no flaws on the truck whatsoever. It's just like it came off the showroom, and the price was almost irresistible. So we purchased the truck, and I don't know. I'm not sure how the conversation came up or whatever, but I think our old mailman here, our first mailman when we started the business here, I think he and his wife might want to buy Old Blue. So we're going to see what happens there. Nothing else is changing. We don't need to go into all of that, but we'll take a closer look on down the road at the New Blue, and if need be, and I can tell you guys more about it. So anyway, we're going to take a look at what's been going on here in the train room, and it hasn't been very much. I'll show you where I'm at here. And I want to talk to you about one more thing. And that one thing is, I'd like to thank all of you, because without you guys and without people commenting and passing things on to their friends, and recommending us and doing all the things that you guys do, us guys couldn't do anything. I have a cheat sheet here, but we just reached 12,651,169 views, and we just surpassed 23,000 subs. And what I'd like to thank you guys about is I was able to get this. No, this is, you don't get one of these unless you get 100,000. Anyways, I'd like to get one someday. If you guys keep it up, we'll get there. Maybe before I turn 90. But I just wanted to thank all you guys for hanging with me and being a partner to me in here. I mean, without being able to share what I do in here with you guys and with my wife and my grandkids and my son, really it would be for nothing. I mean, you know, you'd just be doing it for yourself, and it really wouldn't provide you with a lot of incentive, you know, as not as much incentive as it does with you guys following along, you guys talking to each other, passing my name around. I just recently dealt with a gentleman that was referred by his model railroad club, and that happens quite frequently. And those model railroad club people see me on YouTube, figure I can help this person, and turn them on to me. And I don't mind it whatsoever. In fact, I kind of find it like a compliment, you know, that you guys think that what I say and what I've done out here is valuable enough to pass my name on to somebody else. And while we're talking about passing your name on to somebody else, I would like to take a moment to pass on the name of one of my best buddies on YouTube. And that would be Ron of Ron's Trains and Things. If you guys, everybody knows who he is, I believe. But if you haven't looked at any of Ron's Trains and Things videos on here, I'll put a link down below and go check out what Ron does. I just referred somebody to him on his last tree making video that he did, and because I thought it was outstanding. And because there's a lot of them out there, and some of them aren't too explanatory and too good. But anyway, I'd like to thank Ron for being a buddy in this hobby for quite some time, and a buddy on YouTube. So this means a lot to me that I have this many people that care what I do, enjoy what I do, as much as I enjoy what I do. And let's quit yakking and start looking. We're probably going to run a couple trains or two today because I don't have a whole lot for you. But let's go. Okay, here's what I'm going to try and do. I got the camera set up over here, and I'm good. You're probably going to look at the back of my head. I hope it's okay. But you're probably going to look a lot at the back of my head. But I've run into a problem that's kind of kicking my hiney. And I think I know what it is, and I'll tell you what I think it is, and I'm going to give that a try later on this afternoon. But here's the thing: I've added some insulators down in here as the track comes out of the yard into into our area, or the branch line area, and I have trains running around here. And let me turn around here, because you guys can only see the yard track, but I have it running all the way around the corner on the branch line, all the way around over to the lumber mill, and all the way back into the chemical plant, which is all on this outer track right here, where my little finger is. Everything seems to run fine there. I have some insulators over there where it crosses over and goes to the tracks back here. I am not sure whether that works, but what happens is I had to disconnect. There's two turnouts right here in this yard ladder that I had, one turnout that I had to disconnect from everything, because when I turned it, and this wire is just wrapped around this track right here, because I needed to see how my polarity is before I put a feeder into this track from underneath. it's a long story. But anyway, I have to make sure the feeder polarity matches, okay? Well, when I temporarily hooked that up, I was able to run a locomotive all the way from the yard over here, all the way around into here, all the way around the branch line over to the lumber mill, like I said. No problems, except I have a short going out that way that goes over to where the track goes out on the runaround track, or the reversing track, okay? I sat here and tried to think, what in the heck, you know, it's all, and then I could run a train down the back track over there that you guys know about, the Cato track around the back over there. I could run a train around there, down, and loop it around and come back. And I could come into the branch line over there as long as it's disconnected here. But I have a short when I hook these two turnouts together, which tells me that the polarity over there, when it comes either way, the polarity is reversed over there when it comes back into the branch line here. So I think what the answer is going to be is to put another feeder on that turnout that goes to the scrap dealer. I'll put a feeder there, and then I think I'm going to try cutting two gaps over there, coming from the reversing circuit. I don't know if that makes sense. It's kind of fuzzy in my head, so I'm not sure that it makes sense. But what I'm going to try first is I put a feeder in over there that feeds back this way from the line over there. And it works when it's not connected to this one, so it tells me that it's probably a reversing issue. What I'm going to do is disconnect it over there, hook a temporary feeder over there, and see if I can get the whole thing to work, get this whole thing in here to work. I guess that would be the answer as to whether or not I need a reversing circuit or reverser, AR1 or something of that nature on the entire branch line. So, just in case. So, that's what I'm going to attempt to do this afternoon, and I just haven't gotten into it yet. Pardon me. I always seem to do that to you guys. But I have taken a lot of the pins out and stuff, because some of the pins I had across the track, I've just taken a lot of the pins out so the track's kind of free floating again, because I couldn't figure out in my head where this shorting issue was coming from. So there's really nothing new going on out here besides what I'm going to do. And you guys probably have seen this. This is the Dremel tool with the cutoff blade, and you can see the thickness of the blade there. Well, I was somewhere, Harbor Freight, the other day. Not my favorite place, but it does serve a purpose. And I found these. These are little thin diamond blades. And from now on, these are what I'm going to use to cut my track gaps. It's only about half as thick as the one I just showed you, the fiber blade that's on the Dremel cells. Dremel used to sell one similar to this, only it was some kind of a composite material instead of steel with diamond attached to it. And they were known for flying apart and hurting people, and I think that's why they discontinued them. But we'll see about this, but I think I'm going to try and wear some safety glasses when I use it, just in case it decides to fly apart. But it's very thin. It's only about half the thickness of the Dremel abrasive disc. Let me just tell you about some other things that Gavin and I have talked about out here, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I covered it in the last video. I kind of scanned through the video, and I didn't see it in there, but that doesn't mean I didn't do it. So I'm just going to tell you one thing we talked about out here. Okay, one thing that I talked about with Gavin was, you know, we talk about putting this little station over here. I don't know if it's going to go here or over in there somewhere. In fact, I have a little station sitting there, which I may wind up using, and that may be the branch line station. I don't know. I don't know. They just seem too big for the meagerness of the town. Now, to get back over here to this, Um, Many people have seen this building on my previous layouts and on this layout, okay? And it's labeled Las Cruces. Well, since my area is relatively generic, I thought that was maybe not. I keep looking at it and it just looks so big compared to all the other buildings over here. So Gavin is working on a layout for the city. He got hired as an intern, I think maybe I said that, and he's down there building an N-scale layout for the city. And he and I decided he was building one of these for, I believe, the city layout. And I told him, I said, when you finish that building, why don't you let me have the one you build, even if it's brick, because they come in brick. And this one here, I stuccoed the outside of it. But in fact, I can maybe able to show you the stucco texture. And actually, that texture is very close to the texture that's on our depot down here. So I think they would probably love to have something like that down there. And I think that's what he plans on doing with it. But anyway, I'm going to get the other one from him that he's going to build. And it will not have the freight house on it. So I thought that would scale down the size of the station that I have here on the main line, and just not look so, it just looks so overwhelming to me compared to everything else. And it's been sitting here a long time, so I've had a long time to study it. So we're probably going to do that. I'll probably wind up getting a brick version of this station, not call it Las Cruces, call it Kachina, which is probably what this town will be. And we'll see how that works out. It might give me some different space to do stuff here. But anyway, that's one of the things we talked about. Let me see if I can tell you about another thing that I've been working on. And I'm going to go down to the other end. Okay, I know that we talked about the building that I plan on putting here, which is the cattle, or the auction house, the cattle auction house, by GC Laser. I just loved the look of the kit, and it's something very unusual that I think would fit in here and fit in with the Schmelly meats down on the other end. We've already discussed that, and the icing platform. It would give all of it a purpose. But this is going to be nothing more than an auction house with a holding pen for other cattle that have been farmed out or not sold, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to show you what that, I'll get a picture off the net and show you what the structure looks like, and then I'll just have some still photos of my progress so far. What I will tell you about the building is it's a very confusing kit to build. There's, I think, 14 pages of instructions. There's probably about 1.5 million little pieces of wood that all need to be put together and come together. But you'll see when I show you the still pictures. But it's been a monotonous but rewarding kit to build so far. So I hope it turns out well, and we'll go from there. We're just going to take a little bit of video of this train returning back to the holding siding, just so you guys have a little content. Okay, everybody, that's video 70. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of content we had this week. I intend to try and get out here more, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, the heat is kicking everybody's butt around here, and I feel for you guys who have weather where you are. I'm a little bit upset today because the race in Loudon, New Hampshire, the NASCAR race, was postponed until tomorrow because their weather forecast was rain all day. So I know some of you are having other issues with weather, and I wish all of you the best. And I hope you enjoyed the video today. And as usual, thanks for watching.